Come on. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I just want to say how grateful, appreciative, and really happy I am. We just hit 200k on YouTube and the family is growing by the day. Thank you guys so much for being there for me, for always giving me constructive criticism, which I actually do appreciate, for supporting all of my different hustles. Thank you so much. You would find it funny to know that I feel like I have learned a lot more from you guys as you have learned from me. So it's a very mutual relationship between the two of us, between me and you. So in this video, I'm going to be sitting down and having a chit chat with you guys. This is going to be a Q&A session in which I answer some of your questions that you asked on Instagram. So these questions are around starting a ready-to-wear business, any tips, tricks, because I recently just launched like the ready-to-wear section of Kim Dave. It's only about 2 to 3 months old, so it's really young, really fresh. So all the wounds and all the scars are still fresh as well. So I'm going to be answering your questions in this video. I didn't go through all of them. I answered as many as I could because I didn't want this video to be too long. But yeah, let's get into it. I have myself my cup of green tea, my favorite tea ever. Grab your cup of juice, wine, water, whatever you're into, because this is going to be one that you just want to sit down, enjoy, and learn. So let's get straight into the video. So the first question is from Aurea Stans. I will sort of leave the question somewhere on the screen, as well as the person who asked the question, and it goes like this. Thank you. How do you deal with sizing, please, knowing exactly which size to stock up? So I decided early on that I wanted to go with alphabetical sizing, which is extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large, because with that you do fewer sizes in a size run compared to doing 4, 6, 8, which is the numerical sizing. This is a decision I made on my own. You can decide to go with numerical sizing, which, to be fair, is a lot more accurate in terms of how you grade your sizes up. So for alphabetical sizing, the difference between small and medium is a lot compared to the difference between 6 and 8 in numerical sizing. I hope that makes sense. But I decided to go with alphabetical because I didn't have the budget to create a full size run of numerical sizings. I just couldn't handle. Maybe in the future I will, but for the time being, that's what I'm working with. And because a lot of my designs are quite oversized, free form, I thought alphabetical sizing made more sense because the garments are not meant to be so fitted on every single part of your body. If it's a bodycon dress, something that is meant to fit a specific way, then you want the sizing to look right depending on whatever size that you are creating. So it was a personal decision. I suggest you do your research before choosing whichever size method you want to go with. It's something that I say you learn from with time. Like now I know for sure that there are certain garments that work better when they're sized numerically. So trousers, skirts, anything that is meant to sit still, I say sizing it numerically or having a, not so far apart alphabetical sizing works a lot better. Next question is from Scatter the Gram. It's such a nice name. And it goes like this. Advice for going into ready-to-wear business with just illustration skills but no sewing skill. A lot of people actually do this. It would surprise you to know that there are some designers that don't actually sew at all. They just sketch the design and partner with a machinist, a tailor, a seamstress that just makes the garment for them, and it actually works. The only danger is, as someone who creates garments, when you're illustrating, there are certain things you would need to understand in terms of construction. So let me give you a good example. You draw this really nice dress, collar, sleeve, and everything. If you don't know how the construction or have an idea of how construction works, you wouldn't really know the reason why there needs to be a zip at certain points, there needs to be a dart at certain points. You would just be focused on getting that really pretty illustration, and then you give it to your seamstress and then it's like, oh, how is the person supposed to get into this dress? Do you want pockets? Where are your pockets going to be? What kind of stitching do you want? Do you want a French seam? There are all these little details that if you don't make garments, or if you don't sew, you wouldn't really know about when you're illustrating. And this is something that I actually picked up from when I was in uni, because when we illustrate like back then, the first question on Twitter asked us is, okay, how do you get into this garment? Is your fabric going to work with the shape that you're drawing here? There are all these technical things that if you don't really have an idea of in terms of sewing, when you're illustrating, it wouldn't really cross your mind. So it is possible, very possible, by say just have an idea of garment construction. You don't even have to be the one sewing it, just have an idea of how things are put together. You might go to your seamstress or your tailor's place, I don't know, once a week, just to watch them work, ask them questions, so when you're creating future designs, you sort of know what to look out for. Next question is from Rusi.fashion. Do you line or interface your ready-to-wear garments? Yes, I do, because the market level my garments sit on is more high-end, sort of like designer level. And the thing with fashion design is, depending on the market level, there are certain things that you are sort of not really required, but will make sense if you do to your garments. So a good example is if you go into any shop on the high street and you pick up a dress that is priced around 15 to 30 pounds, the possibility of that dress being lined is very, very slim, because you are expecting to get a dress for such a small price and still expecting lining and French seam on all these extra things. It's just like asking a lot of the designer. So the more expensive you price your garments, the more and the better the finish should be. That's why if you look at like couture, you know, those really high-end dresses, if you look inside, you would not see any raw edge. You won't even see the edges of the zip, you won't even see it. French seam or bias binding, even like the hem is not even hand rolled, it's machine rolled. So everything is like to perfection when the garments are priced more. So I line and I interface all my garments because of the price level they sit at. It just makes sense. If someone is spending at this point, that van just decided to pass. If someone is paying 200 pounds for a jacket or a dress, the person is expecting to have that jacket interfaced on the collar and lined on the inside. It just makes a lot of sense. From the same person, from Rusi.fashion, the person asks, also, do you do the whole production yourself or do you outsource labor? So for the festival collection, I did the patterns, like the pattern for the samples, and I sourced the fabrics myself. In terms of the actual production, I collaborated with one of the women that I actually interned with. So she's the one that graded my patterns, made the other sizes. I just sort of like gave it to her because I didn't have the time to really do it. But for the celebration edit, which I just did, that one I did myself because it's a really small edit. It was like 3 garments, 1 accessory. So I did the patterns myself, sourced the fabric myself, did the production myself in my studio. It was time consuming, it was really stressful, but it's just something I wanted to do. I wanted to just do that collection on my own because why not? Honestly, why not? Next question is from aqua_sage, and the question is, what is required to start a ready-to-wear business? Ooh, there is a lot that you actually need to get sort of done before you even start making the clothes. You need to have your business plan, market research, customer profile. You have to have those things sorted out first before you make the clothes. So when I was doing the festival collection, I had a PowerPoint and an Excel sheet, several pages long, that I just kept adding to, and I still add to till today. So there are those sort of like admin bits that you need to do. I can't stress the importance of doing them. Your business plan is something that would help you plan how you would sell the garments, how much you need to make the garments, if you need to employ someone, how long it will take you before you start seeing profit, your SWOT analysis. There are all these technical bits that your business plan entails. So please do the admin bits first. Please, I cannot really emphasize it more. The creative side is something that would happen after you've done your admin. Some people do them side by side. As they are creating the garments, they are doing their market research. As they are creating the garments, they are doing their business plan. So depending on what works for you, don't just focus on making only the clothes, because you have to figure out how you're going to sell those clothes. If you don't know how you're going to sell them, it's going to be a waste of your time and your money. You sort of need to think of how you're going to make the clothes. Are you going to make them yourself? Are you going to do it made to order? Are you going to outsource the production to another factory? Or are you just going to give people the opportunity to pre-order things, which is something that you can consider? Who is going to pay for the business in terms of funding? Are you going to save up and pay? Are you going to get a loan? Are you going to get a grant? Are you going to partner with someone else who will just pour the money into the business, and then you just handle creating the garments and all that juicy stuff? So there's a lot that goes in, but if done right, it's actually totally worth it, I promise you. The next question is from Sassier Than You Thought. That is such a cool name. And the question is, I'm so scared that the sizes I'm creating might not fit the customers. You would not be able to create garments for everyone, and the earlier you sort of come to terms with that, the easier your life is going to be. So just figure out what sizing method you want to do, or do you just want to do made to order? Because in terms of made to order, your clients give you their measurements and then you make the garments based on those measurements. So are you doing made to order? Are you going to go with alphabetical sizing or numerical sizing, or are you going to do free size, sort of like one size fits all? You need to decide what sizing option you want to give, then make the garments in those sizes. And if you have people coming in for, oh, I want my garments to fit me in a specific way, then you can offer a bespoke service, which is the same garment too, but you just make a fresh one for the person in their actual measurement or the actual size that they want. It might be a really small size or a really big size. Just know that at first you will not be able to make a size for everyone, and the earlier you accept that, the better and easier your life is going to be, I promise you. All right, so the next question is from T Bold Fabrics, and question has two sides. The first side I think I've already addressed, which is how do you sort of like start and what do you need to start? And then the next question is where did you source your fabrics? So my fabrics I got from everywhere. I got some of my fabrics from Germany. I got some from Hackney here in London. I got some of my fabrics from my local store just 5 minutes away. I got some fabrics from Amazon, from eBay. So the danger about how I got my fabrics is once the fabric sells out from a particular supplier, you are in serious trouble, because you have to start finding somebody else who has exactly the same fabric. It's a good thing in the sense that your garments are going to be exclusive and one of a kind, so you can sell that as a USP to your customers as well, which is like unique selling point of the garment. That, for example, the fabric for this hat, you won't see this fabric anywhere in the world except someone intentionally goes to like reproduce the same sort of like design, and this is a jacquard, so it's not even like a print. So I got mine from a little bit of everywhere. You can decide to just have one supplier, someone in China, someone in India, someone in Vietnam. There's so many places that you could get fabrics from wholesale, but just keep in mind that if you want to make your garments long term, you sort of have to find a supplier that can make those fabrics for you, even if they sell out from their website, or source them from you if they sell out from their website. It's another question from T-Bold Fabrics as well, and is what advice would you give to someone about to start the business? I would say prepare to sacrifice a lot financially, a lot of your time, and you would not have the luxury to just, how would I put this? You would spend time investing in your business, especially at the beginning phase, because you don't have, especially if you don't have like big capital waiting for you, or you don't have like a huge team. You would literally be a one-man squad. You'll be doing your own garments, you'll be doing your own marketing, you'll be doing your own photography, you'll be doing your own social media. Just be prepared to do everything at once, which is really sad, because you would be so tired on some days, but the passion for what you do and the vision that you have would keep you going. But yeah, a lot of your money and your time you will sacrifice. You will not be able to go for holidays, for parties, all those flanger. My sister, my brother, I know all those things would be like. There was a time when I was working on the festival collection before Black Girl Fest. There was a week I was so stressed that I was dreaming of the clothes. It was that bad. I was dreaming of, oh, I still need to do this, I still need to do that. I would wake up. My poor husband was like, babe, you actually need to chill. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. So it can be very intense, especially at the beginning, but if done right, like I said, it's absolutely worth it. Don't expect to see profit straight away though, because that's one like perception that a lot of people have. Especially if you're not like, you don't have the influence of Beyonce or Kim Kardashian where you know your things will sell out quickly. My dear, you would work and work for the first couple of weeks, months, possibly years before you break even, which is like when you actually start to make profits. So the next question is House of Nicki. And the question is, I'm a small business startup in Nigeria. I love making ready to wear, but people don't buy. And the person put like 3 sad faces after this question. I actually really understand what you mean. And I remember seeing, was it a documentary or a movie? And apparently a lot of Nigerian women don't like standardized fashion. They would only buy standardized fashion if it's a known name. So if it's a Gucci, Versace, Louis Vuitton, like if it's not a known name, they wouldn't really buy into you. So what I would say, and the strategy that I'm using and has been working for me, is you have to have a story that you're telling with your collection and with your clothes, because then people are buying more than the garments. They're buying into that story, that ethos that you have sort of like branded your garments with. It could also be the type of fabrics you choose to work with. It could also be the type of detailing, something extra that would just make you stand out. Because I've really noticed it, and back home, whenever a typical example is when we have weddings in Nigeria, have you people noticed how people would rather make something different that will make them stand out than go to the shop and buy an existing design from like a boutique? I hope I answered all of your questions. Please share any more questions you have down below. I think I'll have to do another video because there's so many questions that I didn't get to answer. So probably next month or the month after, if I get more questions coming, I will do another video covering and answering those questions as well. But if you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment your thoughts, ideas and suggestions as usual down below. Compliments of the season. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and a banging new year, because 2020 we're not dulling. Are you? Because me, I'm not dulling. 2020 is my year to slay. Honestly, my year of expansion of course, the prayer of Jabez. That is my 2020 prayer. So I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.